Geocachomaniacs.
Geo Gearheads.
Hey, welcome to Geo Gearheads. If you're brand new, this is a weekly podcast about geocaching and geolocation games. I'm Chris of the Northwest, along with our host, Daryl W4.
Wow. Okay.
There's more of a WWE entry. I don't know why.
Yeah. A little lower energy, I guess, though.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
At least not the amplitude.
Yeah.
But you know what?
W4.
Even if they're not new, this is still a show about geolocated games.
That's true.
It doesn't have to be for the new people only.
Even if you're old, like we are.
We like our old people. We fit into that category.
Yeah. Tell us about your bursitis.
You know, the worst part is I'm not even eligible for AARP, but I am a member.
I told you I got a card for AARP when I was 20.
Yes, you did.
It was just one of those things I should have signed up. You know, been their longest lifetime member. He's been a member 80 years. Wow.
Oh, see, but no, if you sign up, I figure that limits the lifespan. Because once you sign up, your days are numbered.
Oh, that's what that means. I'm not signing up.
Yeah, probably better to do that. But Houston, Texas Dave says it's freshly squeezed geocaching gearheads.
Ooh, I like that. I don't know if I want to be squeezed. But as long as
our brains are.
Yeah, it's kind of the fair time. We went to the spring fair out here, which is a small endeavor compared to the state fair in the fall.
Okay.
But it was a drive-through fair.
Oh.
My son really wanted to go. And so the whole family piled in the car. You pay per car. And we drove through the fairgrounds, which I think was the most fun thing ever because you only walk them. You never get to drive through.
Yeah, I was going to say that could be a lot of fun or it could be really lame. I'm not sure how that would pan out.
You know, they had here the Daffodil Princesses are the big thing for the high school.
Is that like Dance Squad or something?
No, it's the regional beauty queen.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Right. I know that's the wrong term, but that's all I could come up with. So anyway, the Daffodil Princess, because we have fields of daffodils here.
Okay.
So they were out, you know, I think there's a daffodil court. I don't know how many girls there are. There's a bunch. And they were along the path handing out daffodils and, you know, greeting. And there were clowns and jugglers and things. So you got to see it along your route. And of course, all the food, the fair food, which you need. We also stopped and went into the Showplex, right? Normally packed in tight. It's hard to move around. In this huge Showplex building, there was probably a dozen vendors. And they were spread out all over. It was just the funniest thing to see.
So do you drive through that or do you?
You don't know. You get out and you walk through that.
So it kind of defeats the purpose, I guess.
Well, they had designated stopping or parking spots where you could go and walk through where they limited the numbers. You could do, and we did in-car bingo. So with your entry, you could do the dock dogs, you know, the dogs that jump off the dock for distance.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Throw a ball or frisbee or whatever. You could go watch that. You could do bingo. There was one other thing. I can't remember what it was. For an extra fee, there was a monster truck show.
So you're the cars on the field that they go and roll over.
Yeah, exactly. So that was kind of fun. We sat in the car and played bingo. I opened the sunroof so we could put the card out. My dad won a stuffed pig. That's something.
Wow. That's something that you're going to remember for the rest of your life. Your son's going to remember it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think my son just really wanted to get out, you know, and share some time with the family and that. And he's like, let's go to the fair. I'm like, drive through the fair? That sounds kind of lame. It was fun. I really enjoyed it. And it's something that I'll remember. So
everyone is so anxious to get out. And unfortunately, we're getting worse in Michigan.
Right. So are we. We were up to phase 3, which means we could have outdoor gatherings up of up to 50 people, 50.
Right.
And now we've dropped back down to phase 2 where it's 15 people.
Oy.
So
That's a significant difference.
yeah. So some of the events were canceled. I feel bad for the restaurants, right? They have to
Oh,
gear
yeah.
up because they in phase 3 they could do 50% capacity. Well, that's some serious business there, right?
Are they
Now in phase
allowing the
2,
outdoor dining though?
20 yes, they allow outdoor dining.
So we're probably getting into that time of year where it's warm enough that people can actually do that.
We're
And
supposed to hit 70 this weekend, so we're just getting
nice.
there ourselves.
Yeah, so this is what I kind of expect to happen, but there's no signs of it yet. Is they're going to further limit or shut down the indoor dining and everyone goes outside. And
Mhm.
you drive around any of the small cities, towns around here, and it's just tent after tent with the
Yes.
tables sent up so that they can do the outdoor
Yes.
dining. The giant heaters, it's insane at what they've had to go through to keep
Now,
themselves afloat.
if we invent a time machine, Daryl, we have to go back in time to March a year ago and start a tent business.
See, I was thinking we have to pick up some of those older fab plants that make the display drivers, because
Why?
those are the ones that are in the short supply that no one can get enough of right now. And no
Hmm.
one wants to invest in building new ones because they're
Right.
the what is it, I think it's 16 and 14 nanometer fabs, which just are insanely outdated at
Mhm.
this point, but they're perfect for making very, very durable chips that don't have a whole lot of speed demand. Hence, why they use them for the drivers. And they were talking about it. It was like the G Nice says the plexiglass business.
Oh, that would be another good one to get into. Yep. It was funny. Just before the pandemic, we had a plexiglass manufacturer, I guess, at least
Hmm.
crafter, right? That would make anything you want. That went out of business. They'd been there for years and they went out of business. And bet they're like, man, if we had held on another 6 months, we could have made it through.
Yeah, it wouldn't take too much.
Yeah. Anyway,
Oh well.
that's
Why don't
not
we move into
geocaching.
some? Yeah, why
But
don't we move into actual geocaching stuff? And oh, go ahead.
the Pizza Ninja says, I can't wait for geocaching events. Now, there are a couple in the area. There's one this weekend in another county that is still in phase 3. So I might be able to go to an event this weekend.
That would be nice.
Local. Yeah. How
I
interesting.
think we actually have an event or two coming up in the next 2 weeks, but I haven't gone back to check, see what their status is.
Yeah, that's what I need to do as well. Okay.
So
We've
now
got
let's
real
move on
news to
to
talk about.
yeah, we'll move on to the first of our articles from the official geocaching blog, which is the experience a new kind of adventure, which is kind
No,
of like,
it's the same old adventure.
well, it's not that old.
It's
It's
true, but
only,
it's not new.
it's only like a year and a half, 2 years old.
I think it's older than that, isn't it?
For the Adventure Labs app, it was
Okay.
only around for a little while before. I shouldn't say a little while. It
But
was
you could do
only
Adventure Labs before that.
right, but it was web based,
Right.
so you could do it from the computer or you could do it
Mhm.
from the phone. And then it was like 3 or 4 months before COVID hit that I think they actually shut that down, and Adventure Labs were only through the app after that. But in any case, they have expanded the way that you can find them. And as they put it, the geocaching app just got a little bit more adventurous. We've added Adventure Lab pins to the map in for premium members. You enjoyed
Daryl,
that.
the R with a circle doesn't have to be pronounced.
Well, it does for this because otherwise you don't know which geocaching app it
True.
is.
Geocaching are in the Adventure Labber pins.
Right. I like the Adventure Labber. Please note, you will need to log out and back in on the latest version of the Geocachinger mobile app, both iOS and Android, to load adventure pins for the first time. So I thought that was interesting. I haven't actually had a chance to do this. Have you reached
Yes,
in to do it
I
yet?
popped it open the other day to send a message. That's really the only reason I opened up the geocaching app.
Say
Let's be
that.
honest, okay?
Well, that and for the souvenir stuff where you have to,
Yeah, that's true.
yeah.
Oh, yes. So I still need Wonders of the World. So
I was going to ask about
I
that in
did
the
go
next
and
one.
I did go and search for that. Anyway, I popped it open and I'm like, there are adventure labs on the map. Now, I remember we heard this a while ago from Brian Roth. This was going to happen.
Yeah,
But we
this
had
isn't
no date.
new information.
No.
It was just a ballpark, I think. And it's just going to be opened up to the API partners.
Is it? I
That
had
was
to go
what he
check
had said.
Cashly. I had to go check Cashly and I didn't see it there. So
Well, I think this is one of those, okay, we're getting it in and we're going to release it to the API partners about the time it goes in the app. So I think they're going to be at least a month or so out. Could be a lot easier.
and okay, so it's not perfect, right? It doesn't show all the stages of the adventure lab, just the start. But
Yeah,
you know
and-
what? While you're out geocaching, you pop that open, you go, oh, look, there's an adventure lab here too. Or you're adventure labbing, you go, oh, look, there's a geocache here. How convenient to see them on one map.
Well, there's a couple of things to note on that. Number one, it's only premium members that get this feature, period.
That's true.
That I thought was pretty interesting. And two, when you actually click through one of those, it's going to open the Adventure Lab app.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not able to do the Adventure Labs in the original app, whether it be Cashly or the geocaching app. Right now, it's only Cachinger, but we're anxiously awaiting.
Okay,
the
here's my
arrival of
next
the
question.
APIs.
Does it get rid of ones that you've already completed?
Well,
Show those on the map.
it depends on your filtering, as I understand it, because the filtering has to be set right. So if you have it set to hide your finds, then yes, but I think it will show you found Adventure Labs. My question is whether it has to have all of the Adventure Labs completed, all the stages, or if it's the first stage that gets completed. Because it's not actually the first stage that's showing, it's the starting location that's showing.
You're exactly right. Okay, so
the starting location is different. That's what the CO, should we say, of the Adventure Lab, the builder, actually designates. So that might be where they think you should park. It might be the center, but they get to pick that. So it tells you where the cache, the Adventure Lab is starting, and then you go from there.
It does remove fines.
Yeah,
So
that's kind of what
Adventure Labs.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's doing it if I finish like the 3 of the 5 stages. Does it pull it off the map? So for partial completions.
No. I have one where I've done one stage just because it's a drive around and I've it's convenient to my house here. No, and it shows up because it's not completed.
Awesome. That's exactly what I'd like. Though it'd be nice if it gave you some kind of indication of how many stages you've completed or need to complete.
Right. Well, it does when you click on the pin and go to the Adventure Lab app, of course.
Yeah. But something in the geocaching app would be nice. Something in the Cashly or whatever, and that might be coming at some point. This is still early days.
Exactly.
But this is what we've been screaming for how many months? 14, 15?
Yeah. Kitty Catch says, I got to go to a mega 2 weeks ago. It was so cool.
Wow.
How cool is that, right?
Well, that's done in Australia. I would expect they would actually be pretty hot.
Oh, well, they're coming into fall now, right? Starting to cool down.
Yeah. But this is
or coming into
still,
winter. This is their fall.
Yeah, this is their fall going into winter. But yeah, as I understood it, this was like one of their warmer times of the year. This is kind of like their August is for us. Actually, maybe a little bit later, maybe more like September. But in any case, yeah, good time for
MC3
it.
MC3 Cat says, I'm waiting for it to show up on the geo.com website, geocaching.com. So I have to go look now. Does it show up on geocaching.com?
I don't believe so. It's only in the apps as far as I could tell.
Geocaching or app. Yep. Oh, wait. They're only available to premium.
Right.
I saw something. I don't see this. And now I scrolled past it and I can't find what I saw.
Isn't that always the case?
Yeah. So keep talking. I'm going to pop open a map here. And
All right.
no, it doesn't
I'm going to
show.
move on to the next one, which is mildly related, because I have the feeling the next souvenir challenge is actually designed around the launch of the Adventure Labs in the app. It's the new souvenir challenge, the Science of Discovery.
Ooh.
So from April 12th at noon UTC through July 11th, 2021, collect points on your geocaching leaderboard by logging Adventure Lab caches or other geocache types. Earn up to 4 souvenirs by collecting 300 points during the promotion period. So we're going to pause there real quick. This I felt really interesting because one, we're jumping back to the leaderboard again, which is a cool way to do it.
Mhm.
And two, we don't have that big, long, extended window. This is back to what are more normal geocaching challenges, promotions have been.
Promotions. Maybe. I don't think it's quite. Still think it's longer, but I mean, before it would be maybe 6 weeks, 2 months.
Well,
It's April, May, June, July.
We'll get into that a little bit more here too with the point system. But in order to get the first souvenir, rocket science, it's 50 points.
And
Geology, yes.
Shouldn't rocket science be the peak? I mean, come on. Everybody says it's not rocket science. Rocket science is universally declared as the hardest science.
You know, I was kind of thinking the same thing, and then I kind of looked at this the way I think they did. Rocket science is what put the satellites up there.
Yeah,
so
that's
it
true.
has to come first.
Okay.
And now that we have the rockets, we can get into the geology and get all excited about that, get our 100 points. Once we've completed our excitement over geology, now we can get to the environmental science,
where we acknowledge all the stuff that we've already left on Mars and a person hasn't even touched a foot yet, and there's garbage all over the planet.
Yeah, for 200 points.
Okay.
And then the futurology is 300 points. So it's 300 points to max out the promo. To earn the points, you have to find, when you find a Adventure Lab cache, that's one location, one stage, it's 10 points. So that's the most that you're going to find.
Right.
So if you find 30 stages, which is 6 full 5 stage adventures, you've got your souvenirs.
And
so it doesn't take a whole lot.
Completely agrees with that. 6 Adventure Lab series and you got all the souvenirs.
Yeah.
It's not brain surgery, he says.
This is also true. Anyways, if you find a cache with 10 or more favorite points, that's worth 9. And these are not stacking points. This is, whichever one you hit, that's the maximum that you're going to get. An Earth cache is worth 8 points. A mystery cache is worth 7. Multi-cache is worth 6. And any other cache is 5 points. But it says found it, so I'm not sure that it actually applies for events.
Do you find it interesting that Adventure Lab has the most points?
Yes, and I think the reason for that is that they're trying to get people out to do the Adventure Labs with the launch of the icons on the map. This is really about getting people invigorated over it. There's been another round of Adventure Labs that were awarded. So this is another push to do it.
All right.
I
Pizza
was
Ninja
doing
says Mars is the best planet of robots in the universe. I don't know. Is it the best? It's the planet with the only robots.
I was going to say in the solar system. I don't know about the universe.
Are there better robots here on Earth?
No.
I don't know. There's the dog-like ones that you can push over and they'll get back up again.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
don't you just want to go push a robot over? Yeah.
They're not as well traveled.
That's true.
It depends on what we judge our criteria on.
That's right. Can you imagine building something, hoping that it works, and you'll never be able to see it again or work on it? Wow.
No. So yeah, I'm at 0 on this challenge. I believe you're in the same one. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I
you
just
still
haven't
haven't.
gotten out.
Yeah, and you still haven't even finished your
No.
Wonders of the World. Not
And
that you can't do them at the same time.
exactly. I have to admit, not having or having an extended deadline like the Wonders of the World just takes all the emphasis out of it for me. It's like I'll get them when I get them.
Yeah. But the interesting part of this one is the Adventure Labs don't count for Wonders of the World.
Oh, here we go. We've got real information. So Starcasher got out and says I did an event on Tuesday and got no points. So events
So it has to be a
point.
Yeah, it has to be a found it log. It can't be an attended.
Thank you, Starcasher. We appreciate
Perfect.
that.
Thank you.
Our field reporter has just called in. Dee. This just in.
Houston, Texas Dave has a second Adventure Lab that he's trying to figure out what to do with it. So everyone send your ideas for Adventure Labs for Houston, Texas Dave. Sounds like he can use some ideas.
Well, apparently he's in Texas. Just do, 5 of your favorite barbecue spots because there's so many barbecue places in Texas.
As soon as we start talking about Texas, I'm thinking of the winter storm horror story that we had and how you can do a whole thriller based based on that in an Adventure Lab. I don't think it would actually work out very well because there's just like we went into when I did mine, there's just not enough text there. You'd have to do it as a video.
Okay.
Yes. But speaking of videos, the GIF is actually coming back this year.
Can you believe it? GGH is back.
I did not expect that, to be honest.
I didn't either. But at the same time, it's a very socially distanced event, right? If they release it online like they did, the 2 years ago, where, you can have the events, but release the videos online and you can vote that way. That works just as well.
Yeah. And so I was just not really expecting it to happen, but I thought it odd the way they announced it, which is the GIF is back with a color splash was the name of the article.
Yes.
And they announced that the color is yellow.
Not just yellow. Hex code FFE 500 yellow. Which I was like, they really released the hex code of yellow? Which, yeah, okay.
Well,
okay.
Yeah, because they want the entries to theme, color theme around that, I'm thinking.
Right. I get it. I was just surprised. Yellow. Okay. Do yellow.
I thought it was funny and interesting, I'm not sure how many people actually would have caught that, but anyone, I'm guessing, who's going to consider submitting an entry certainly is going to catch them. They'll probably figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
But,
so it's going to take place in November 2021.
But we don't have the details on the submissions yet.
Nope, not yet. So hold your breath.
Get your idea cap on. Start looking at what you want to do, because time goes quickly as you're producing those, as I'm sure anyone who's done one of these will tell you.
Yep. So we already have people in this area that are working on theirs.
Well, and people had been working on theirs last year too. So it's not that surprising.
The Sweden guy can do Yellow Snow. As long as it's the right hex code.
You know, you can always correct the in post.
Yeah, okay. Oh, you can do anything in post.
Yes, you can. But I'll be curious to see if there's actually a theme or anything this year. The article didn't really make it sound like there was.
I think the theme ought to be Yellow Snow. I kind of like that. Just don't eat the yellow snow.
I'm envisioning like music videos now about yellow snow. You know, like that Chocolate Rain
Chocolate
song
Rain,
from
exactly.
forever ago. Hey, and it's the TikTok era. Maybe that will have lip syncing. But yeah, you can't use commercial music. You can't use anything that's copyrighted. So basically, you can't use music.
Yeah, it's not too bad. They've worked around that in the past.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm excited because I like the Adventure Labs or the GIF. Well, I like the Adventure Labs.
Good.
As well.
I'm glad you like the Adventure Labs. Let's talk about GIF.
Actually, there you go, Houston, Texas, Dave. Go find some of the GIF entries and do a GIF themed Adventure Lab.
Oh, yes. Geocaching is free.
Yeah, there's a ton of those out there.
Coming back to me.
It might be even better to find the ones that didn't make it into the GIF. The ones that didn't make it onto that reel.
Oh yeah, not the winners, but the entrance.
The entries that didn't make it in.
Didn't make it in.
That would be a lot of fun.
I was cleaning up my garage a couple of weeks ago, put up new shelves, organizing things and throwing stuff away. And I pick stuff up. I go, this isn't trash. It's a geocache. Really? I'm literally singing that song to myself in the garage.
Yeah, it's like everyone did that for like years afterward. That one just really resonated with people.
Mm-hmm.
That and geocaching is free.
Yep.
That wasn't the same.
And that cute little dog. Right? I don't know.
Oh yeah, the dog was much earlier, wasn't it? But the one where the dog goes caching and comes
that was like 2 years ago, I want to say.
Yeah. No, I think it was longer than that.
Okay.
Because 2 years ago was the last GIF. And the year before that was the it's not trash, it's a geocache. Because the 2 years ago one, he did something else, and I can't remember what he had done. But in any case.
Some reason my camera's flashing on me.
I noticed. I think it's warning you, error. Reevaluate your research. There was all of the reels posted to their YouTube channel, to the geocaching YouTube channel, and I watched those. We talked about it, when they released the final ones, earlier this year or late last year, because I had sat down and watched them all over again as I was working on other videos, and it was it was the highlights that they had re-released. But I was going through like, oh, I remember this one. I don't remember that one. But I want to say it was like 4 or 5 years ago. It was one of the earlier ones with the dog video. But that was definitely a highlight.
Yes, it was. I did enjoy that.
You're still flashing.
I know.
Does that mean you're researching?
Maybe. That didn't make it any better.
No, you did not. So I'll be curious if any of our audience members are actually going to submit something. I know C. Michelle in the chat's pretty anxious to have the GIF coming back, but I don't know if he's going to do it or not.
He better.
C. Michelle is recommending create your own soundtrack for the.
I can do video. A bass line for you.
The problem with that, I really would not want to try creating my own music for anything anymore, because the copyright routines catch all that stuff now. Even, it's like everything has been copyrighted. So, so if anything sounds enough like any other song, it's going to trip. And I've heard that happen to a lot of people. So probably best to not do it at all if you can avoid it, or use common public domain stuff. So like a lot of the classical music, you're fine if you can find a public domain recording.
Mm-hmm.
And Ryan Simmel says that he's would like to make a video, so maybe we'll catch one from him.
Cool. Keep
But
us
yeah,
up to date on how you're doing on that.
Yeah, keep us in the loop, because I'm curious. I'm not going to do one. Oh, Pizza Ninja says we need a show on the best gift gear.
Oh, we could do that. Well, I don't know about the best, but we could do gift gear.
I'm thinking if we're going to do one on the best gift gear, I think we're going to need to do a trip to the Marvels, or not the Marvel, the Lucasfilm Studios, where they shot The Mandalorian.
Oh, okay.
See, you never have to leave. You just set up the entire world in 3D and shoot it on nice, big, expensive video cameras. Just make sure that you don't have a grip standing in the background.
It can happen. And it has on several scenes.
Yes, but they're good about going in and touching those out again. So you don't even ever notice that they ever were there now.
No, there's some scenes. They left them in, and well, not purposely. They missed them in a scene or two.
Yeah, but anytime anyone points those out, they go back and they clean them up quick.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Oh.
So there's been at least 2 that I know of. The one was the one that got all the press on it. But within 24 hours, it had been cleaned up, and they had replaced it in the library, so you couldn't even watch it anymore.
That. I assumed it would always be there,
Yeah. Nope. They've been good about touching those things up and fixing it. And I don't know who's driving that. I wouldn't be surprised if it's Farborough. But yeah, for the
Feige, you mean?
What's that?
Kevin Feige?
No. Jon Favreau is the executive producer.
Right.
Favreau, yeah. That guy is interesting.
He's got a lot of irons in the fire. Let me tell you.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
He's not just Iron Man's lackey. Okay.
No. Yeah. Well, I thought it was impressive that he did that and directed the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And the movie didn't suck.
Is that the bar you're setting, Daryl? The movie didn't suck?
For that era, it was pretty outrageous for a superhero kind of movie, comic book movie, to not be comical.
Mm-hmm.
And
I still love the first Iron Man movie. That was one of the best, I think.
Oh, that to me was the best of all of those. And then I would probably go for Captain America, the first adventure.
Captain America, yeah.
Yeah. Which, interestingly enough, was done by the same guy who did The Rocketeer.
Oh, really?
Which is why the aesthetic is like it is. And he just likes that whole like Art Deco-y.
Yeah, Art Deco, yeah.
Yeah, where everything's yellow. That's the thing that always got me. Was
what yellow? Is
I don't know.
FFE 500 yellow?
No.
Okay, because there's not a lot of yellow on Captain America.
That's too bright. It's more of the sepia.
Okay, sepia tones.
Right. No, I thought that was just an excellent movie. Again, it's not, it's getting more comical, but I just really enjoyed that one.
Mm-hmm.
And the original Iron Man, it was so impossible, but at the same time, it's like, this is like a real story.
That's classic Feige yellow, apparently.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, that's a real color they have.
Is it?
No.
I think it's a fake color. It's all fake colors.
Okay.
Especially if you're colorblind.
When suddenly you realize Captain America is wearing a Puerto Rican flag for his uniform, then everything just falls apart.
Well, Well, it is an American territory.
Yeah, it's true. Have you ever noticed that though? His uniform is a Puerto Rican
Not
flag.
until just now.
Okay.
Wow. As we get into Marvel talk.
Okay, so let's not talk about Captain Puerto Rico anymore.
Yes, let's actually move into satellite news, because we have
European news.
two satellite stories, both from the European Space Agency. Actually, I'm not sure it's from the European Space Agency, because I think it's now under control of the Galileo Service Operator.
That's the GSO.
No, it's GSOP.
Why GSOP?
GSOP. Because GSO probably means something else.
Oh,
so they had to add the P in.
So back
ahead.
in February, the Galileo Service Operator, the GSOP, received from the EU SST, that the European Union Supersonic Transport?
No.
Okay. A collision risk alert between the GSAT 0219 and an inert Ariane 4 upper stage launched in 1989.
Which I believe is actually the stage of a rocket.
Right. Ariane? Ariane? I don't know. How would you pronounce it?
I would say Ariane.
Yeah. So, I mean, just there's a lot of space junk up there. And it's funny that the satellites they're sending up have, collision warning, kind of like, what you'd have on a car. Do they hit the brakes?
Yeah, but it's a lot more important.
Yeah. They're traveling at a lot faster speeds.
It's hard to get a car right now, but there's no way a car is going to take 10 years.
Yeah.
Well, I shouldn't say that. If you have a car custom built.
Well, no, I mean, for them to design a new car takes over 10 years.
Yeah.
Or even just
actually they have that down. It's nowhere near the 5 or the 10 years anymore. They've got it down where most of the cars are like 4 to 7 years, I believe. Updates on cars certainly don't take that long, but yeah.
That's
anyway.
True. So I'll let you know the Galileo satellite 0219 is safe.
Yep, they did their collision avoidance maneuver and
closely watched it. Can you imagine? I think it's going to clear. I hope it's going to clear.
Well, and I gather that this was the first one that they've done.
Well, I don't know.
The first one on this satellite.
Yeah. It may be the first one. There's a lot of stuff up there. I mean, and they track it all. It's amazing to me how much they track. I mean, this is from 89. This is a while ago. This, piece of space trash is sitting up there. Now, Daryl, I remember way back when the shuttle was first. Oh, CETO in space. Good job, Houston, Texas Dave.
Yeah, there's your next adventure lab, or another possible adventure lab. CETO in space.
When they first were talking about the space shuttle, wasn't one of the concepts is that it would always come down with some space junk? They'd grab the arm and just pull things out.
Yeah, they had talked about doing that early on, and part of it was to regulate the weight. So I don't know whatever became of that, but it was one of those, hey, let's do two things at once.
Yeah, while we're up there, just don't bring back the pickup truck empty. Put some stuff in it.
Yeah. Well, and then there were all kinds of concerns over it. Ooh. Ryan Simmel says that, did you see that the InSight Mars lander is hibernating and may die?
No. The InSight Mars lander.
Yeah. I
Which
can't
one is that? Yeah, now we have to go look.
Time for our Google Food Kitchen.
Well, when did it launch? Yeah, I know. Okay, so that's what it looks like. We talk about it. Come on. Mission overview. Studying the inner space of Mars. This is so exciting on an audio podcast, isn't it?
It is so exciting.
What's the timeline overview here? Okay. Was launched from Vandenberg Air
2018.
Force Base in California on May 5th, 2018. A 6-month cruise. InSight landed on Mars November 26, 2018 at 11:59 a.m. and began Mars surface operations. So let's see. Cruise, approach, landing, surface ops. Lander begins day-to-day science activities for about 30 days into the mission.
And it's and according to Ryan, it was too much dust on the solar panels.
That's a real shame.
Yeah, it's to be expected, but I don't know what you do to prevent it.
They look like Oriental fan, the solar panels.
Yeah.
But a complete circle. They flip all the way around. So, what would be nice is if they closed them up and flipped them back open, trying to clean them off.
Well, I was just going to say, I'm not sure you could actually do that unless you had like wipers or something on it. Because as I understand, they've had problems with sticky sand. Like it's that staticky sand kind of thing that sticks to everything.
Okay. I'm sorry. I have ideas on what rovers are up there working on Mars, but I can't always remember the names. But the one that's really old up there and still working, it's just because it was lucky and got in an area of higher winds that keeps the solar panels cleared off.
Oh, interesting.
That blowing them off. So.
And then Thanosek says, space junk on Mars, Earth's orbit, the moon, solar system, super site fund needed.
Ooh, I think so.
Most of the other places on Mars, they use sandstorms to clean it.
So a little, sandblasting, get everything nice and shiny again.
Yeah. And then the last bit of news that we actually have in the satellite, then we'll let everyone go. A little bit of reprieve till next week from our bad jokes. The Galileo Center for Mexico, Central America, and the Caribbean opens in Mexico City. So a new information center for Mexico City, Central America, and the Caribbean has opened in Mexico City with training facilities in Querétaro, Mexico. And I believe I actually pronounced that correct.
Querétaro.
Oh, you're probably better than I am.
I don't know.
The 177 million population is largely untapped market for space, according to the Telespazio Arabica. No, that's not right.
It's Telespazio. It's so spazzy. Sorry, I had to throw that out there.
But this is one of those regional centers that they were going to be setting up. I kind of get the impression that this is going to be as much a marketing office as anything else, trying to sell the Galileo service.
Information center.
Yeah. So I'm thinking they're going to be trying to sell the service to the carriers and whatnot.
Come on in. Let me get you a nice cold glass of water and tell you what Galileo is going to do for you.
Yeah. Timeshare for your shipping company. But it's good to see that they're rolling this out, because I am very excited about the possibilities of this. Yeah, I will feel no more safe getting on a plane, but at least I figure if something goes wrong, they'll know where to find the bodies. That's, I hate to be morbid about it, but that's basically the way I look at this as a passenger.
I still can't figure out, and I'm going to use the phrase that makes me sound old. In this day and age, how do you lose an aircraft?
It's not that tough.
Apparently not. If once you turn off all your transponders, it's, invisible.
Well, and if you're in the middle of one of the oceans, you don't have terrestrial.
Satellites go all the way around the world.
Yeah, but you don't have terrestrial communications. And that's what most planes use is, standard old radio. And there's no radar to track over the oceans. It's, the ships and whatnot that are out there. So
they use
it's
cores?
pretty easy. They
Plain
use
old
what?
radio service.
Yes. Oh, we were talking about POTS the other day.
Plain old telephone service.
Yes. And, one of the guys in this research group that I was in was an old lineman who,
He
migrated
was a
into.
lineman for the county.
No.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
I'm done.
but
Go ahead.
he was saying that, he prefers, actual POTS lines, blah, blah, blah. He was kind of railing on it. But as soon as AT&T started charging him $74 for a phone line he doesn't use, he disconnected it.
Wow. Really?
Yeah, well, yeah. Just having a phone line has gotten expensive. That's why everyone's on cell phones now.
Yep.
It's
exactly.
cheaper to have a cell phone than to have a landline.
Well, you can get that, extra phone line at $5 a month. Transfer the
Even
number
if you
over.
don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do a prepaid phone for under $20.
Period.
Yeah.
And all you're going to get is telemarketer calls anyway.
Right. So yeah, no, it's a changing world to say the least. But why don't we wrap it up? Save everyone from the rest of our hijinks for today. Sound like a plan?
I guess if we have to, I guess.
Well, we don't have to. We could keep going.
Well, no, we're good.
They can turn it off. They can leave the chat room. Whatever they like. All right.
So, Daryl, if people want to send us stories for the next randomized show, one of my favorite, where would they send that?
Well, you can always send those to geogearheads@cashomaniacs.com.
That's a good place to send it.
Let
Let us know what you think. Come up with a story.
True or not, but we like the true stories better.
Truer is better.
Truer is better. That's definitely true for bicycles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, this, guys, is why we need to take off. So check the Cashomaniacs website at cashomaniacs.com for more on the Geo Gearheads, including show notes for this and all of our episodes. We love hearing from our listeners, so leave us feedback by emailing geogearheads@cashomaniacs.com or through social media. Your support helps keep the Cashomaniacs shows coming. Please consider becoming a patron through the link on the website to support the Cashomaniacs shows. Geo Gearheads is produced by Chris Huffenauer and Daryl Wanberg. This show is copyright 2020 by Daryl Wanberg. All rights reserved.
Cash, we're the Cashomaniacs.